All right, good afternoon. How is everyone? And today we're talking about data match. You may not even know anything about that, but it is so important. I will tell you that if you are the person do not like IRS to visit you and afraid of being audited, having a nightmare meeting with these handsome, beautiful IRS agents, then you probably need to know data match. Data match is a mean to help taxpayer to stay away from red flags. Effective, totally good. It is a service invention of community CPA. We have been doing that for our VIP client, for our clients who is not so good at managing their own financial affairs, and for those who needed help, and we have give them this tool so they can actually file their taxes properly. So now let's kind of get going with what we have in store for you. So this is our YouTube channel. Everything we talk about today, yesterday, last week, last month, last year, everything we talked about, it is recorded right here. You can actually subscribe to our channel. So every time when we have a new video get posted, you can review the topic, see whether you like it or not, and then you can go watch it. Our channel, we are, I wish I had million subscribers. That is my wish. But right now, we have just about 5,000, not enough. But if you could subscribe, like our videos, you will help to push our channel forward. We like more and more people to know us. Not so much of we are a good name. No, it is the knowledge we put on there is really meaningful, helpful, and understandable. We don't play big words. We really speak very simple English because my English is simple. English is my second language. So you can imagine that I don't have big, sophisticated Harvard kind of vocabularies for you. And everything we talk about is easy understanding. Actually, most of my clients, when they talk about our service, they will say things like, Ying, you really know how to make things simple, and I understand you, but not the other accountant I was talking to. It's almost like he was talking languages from the Mars, but you are speaking Earth language. That's totally right. And we are known to be that way. So all of our videos are here, folks. You can also come to our website. On our website, you can see an appointment button. And over here, these are our partners. And all of the people are partners. So you can look at what they do, what their name is, and you can book appointment. If you book my appointment, it actually tells you what they have available. So if there is no available time and you don't have that yellow banner coming in, but you can tell that I actually work 24/7. So there are appointments like in the evening, but that's how my time goes. So with that said, let's just dive into our webinar called Data Match. Okay? And data match, where the data is with the government, with the Uncle Sam, with the people who has the privilege to get third-party input in their database. That's IRS, right? So data match just means that whatever we do, we match to what they have. What does that mean? That means you're trouble-free. So that's a very simple concept and idea. And my name is Ying Sa, and I am the managing partner and the founder of Community CPA. So this firm, we didn't come from merger and acquisitions, okay? We are not the firm like that. We are an organic growing firm from one person, one client to now 40 employees and plus 10,000 clients that we taking care of. So it is a medium-sized CPA firm. We located in Bloomington, Minnesota, and Coralville, Iowa City in Iowa, and Des Moines, Iowa. Des Moines, Iowa location is our headquarters because we grew out of here, so expanded to other areas. And when we went to the other areas, it's not because we acquire, purchase. No, it is because we have so many clients coming to Des Moines And so by big buzz, so we decided to go there and make it easy for folks. So that's how we expand our footprint, by simply driven by our clients' needs. So now with internet, our webinars is out online and people need the service. They're all over the country. So we are monitoring our pockets. So if, let's say, if in Houston, Texas, we got more and more people coming in, once it's over a certain amount in client number, and we are setting up a branch. So that's how we expand from the location standpoint. I am an author. I already published a book in 2019 called Appointment with Ying at 8 a.m. That book is about how to start a business. And I just finished. It's going to publish the second book called Appointment with Ying at 10 a.m. Okay, folks. So the 10 a.m. is how to grow your business. Then I am working on the third book, is 2 p.m. That one is a merger acquisition. So I mentioned a lot about merger acquisition because that's what people do right now. But in certain industry, merger acquisition is not the answer. So I will write the book by expanding your business to the future, other than, of course, merger acquisition, but there's other ways to do it. Then my last book is 6 p.m. I will write about retirement, right? Retiring from your own business. That got to be challenging. I think we need a belt and whip to regulate people to retire. Otherwise, these business owners, they are just very aggressive. They're not gonna say they're gonna retire. They're all gonna work to death, and that's just what people do, right? So in that last book I write, I will implement some techniques. All right, so prior to start, no responsibility disclaimer. It is really true that don't rely on internet. As much as you already relying on internet, you're coming in here to hear me, but again, this is should not be your knowledge that you rely upon. If you like the knowledge, make sure you contract your professional folks, your lawyers, your CPAs, or community CPA, or you talk to me and engage us for service with you, to you. And that is the only way to make sure that the knowledge you learned, understood, really can apply to your situation, right? You understand what I mean, and just be critical, be thoughtful of what you are taking from the internet. Right now, okay, what information does government have on you as a resident of US? You hear me? I didn't say as a citizen of US. No, residents. So what is resident? By tax definition, residence is not green card holder. Don't confuse that with immigration. So for tax people, residence means that you reside in US for more than 183 days. Figure that out. That's 6 months. So you could be a resident of US, and even if you don't have a green card, you're still a resident of US. So your information would be supplied to the government. So you would have some information that government has, have a handle on. So tax returns, W-2, W-3s, 1098, 1099, 5498. What is 1098? Your mortgage interest. Or maybe you have a big checking account or big saving account and had savings over there, and then the bank would supply the interest into IRS. So IRS knows that you're supposed to report those interest income. So that are the third-party information government would have a handle on. So what is IRS data match? When we talk about data match, what is that? IRS data match or data draw, we draw the IRS data, is a special service we offer to our client. And I say we offer because this is a process we come up here in community CPA about 20 years ago. So that's how long we are on this path. For the past 20 years, no wonder our client don't get audited, because there's no reason for them to be audited. They matched everything what the government have, right? So this process will help you to prevent your business from being audited or having a surprise visit by IRS, because you know what was reported by third party to IRS, and you match to that information How could you ever get audited? Why? The IRS has a lot of things to do, and if you're perfect, they don't bother you, okay? That's why you know people who has never ever get audited by IRS in their whole life. There's a lot of lucky people like that, but you're also going to see people who are audited by IRS every 3 years because they're just not good. They keep on forgetting things. So these are just, part of life, right? So I hope you belong to the earlier one, not the latter one I mentioned. And the concerns and reasons to do data match. So why, before I get there, I will tell you a story. And we have a doctor client who are running clinics. So, we do data match for the doctor's office all the time because you know how sometimes they will receive 1099 income notes from, the insurance company or whatever that may be. And the doctors may not have all of that number with them because it is just so disorganized on the reimbursement side by the insurance, by the government, by the Medicaid. It's just a lot to track. So what we do is we go to pull those data. But last year, actually this is 2021, when we were doing 2021 tax return, we pulled the data from IRS. Notice that this doctor actually claimed unemployment insurance in a different state. Not where she is now, where she practicing, is in a different state. And so we checked with the doctor, obviously it's fraudulent. So someone was using her maiden name to apply for unemployment insurance in a different state, so getting paid. Amazing, isn't it? So without data match, would you know that? You won't. What's going to happen is you submit your tax return, the government come back goes, hey, you forgot to report your other income from this different state. You applied for unemployment benefit. You'll be dumbfounded, goes, what? I didn't know that, right? So in this case, we prevented unnecessary IRS audit. And you can imagine that if IRS come over to audit and she has a clinic, and it will be terrible for IRS to go through the clinic, go through her business and expanding this audit from personal to business, from business to other businesses. It will be a chaos. So you avoided all of that because oh, I have a fraud case there. So let's just go ahead, resolve that, then file my tax return, right? So when you have a multiple source of income, like this one I wrote here, so 1099s, you should do data draw. You should do data match. When you have multiple business entities and have not kept a good record, nobody would say that, oh yeah, I did a bad record. No. I know all of us, when someone say, did you have a good accounting? You automatically goes, yes, I do. But in your heart, maybe not so perfect. If that's the case, you probably need a data draw, data match. And you suspect that your data is not complete. Maybe you moved from one house to another, and your document got stolen. That happens too, right? Or you were audited before and you're just scared of being audited again. Or you got divorced and then your other party is the one handles your finance. You don't even know what kind of taxes you are filing, right? All of these things really would be deserving a data match service. Okay, identity theft, that's of course is a reason. There's just so many identity theft these days. Can't even, I know the system need to be better, but we just have a lot of people and would come into our firm because their identity is totally stolen. But one thing I can tell you that the way we operate our business, we don't have any client for the past 27 years have ever lost their identity through our means. So that's how secure our system are. And I would give credit to Thomson Reuters because that's what the system we use. So we are pretty much US made and a very tight compliance and the security process we're doing at our firm. There's many sources of 1099, right? We know that 1099 could be 1099 miscellaneous, 1099 NEC, 1099 others, 1099 rent. So all kind of 1099. So all of these 1099s I listed here could play a part. Maybe you didn't receive it, but the IRS has it. And then when you don't receive it, you don't report it, IRS believe that you underreported your income, then IRS would charge you, right? So you look at this list and hopefully you recognize all of them. And if some of them you don't recognize, for example, 1099 PATR, you don't recognize, that's fine, because that is more for cooperative, profit sharing. So that's very special. So you don't normally see it, but you often see 1099 NEC, 1099 MISC, miscellaneous, right? So those are 1099s. If you got those things flying around in your life and you need a data match. So what kind of data is actually shared by IRS? All of your data with IRS is yours. You know that, right? So whatever data you have with IRS, you have a right to get it. So you can go to IRS, call to ask for one, or you can go to your local IRS office to have them print one for you. But your copy of return, transcript of your return, information on open cases, your tax record, your court opinion, all of that under your Social Security number is available at IRS for you. What data is shared by IRS? And all of the data is yours, as we stated. So there shouldn't be any data IRS has for you, has on you, that you have no access to. Okay. What do I need in order to get my data? That would be the next slide I want to get to. So at Community CPA, we do your data match. Okay, that is one of our service, and we will need to get authorization from you to go to IRS, to march to the IRS and to get the data. Knocking the door goes, I want this taxpayer's data, and the form we use is 2848 and 8821. So with these two forms you signed, and we go to IRS, we will get it. But however, you don't have to come to us. You can go to irs.gov to get it yourself, and you can call IRS to get it yourself. But I would just say that when you do your calling from taxpayer line, and the waiting, I would not exaggerate, and you need to prepare 2 hours, 3 hours waiting online, because otherwise you wasted your time. You already waited for 2 hours, you better stay for another hour to get through, right? And what we do, we are actually doing it through practitioner side of information, so it's faster. And for that reason, we can serve more clients, right? So you can request, I listed the phone number for you, and you can submit 4506T for taxpayer to request the data mailed to your home. And the estimated time would probably be about 6 to 9 months. So you want to just plan that accordingly. And what should, within this data match, data draw, and a data match, what is the process? How would you, what would you expect if you are coming to Community CPA to do that? So what we will do is we actually, we will start pulling your 2022 data right now, because that is when IRS system is more fully loaded. So the third party finished loading their data and things like that. So we actually start in the summer. And once we got that, we will be comparing what we got from IRS to your tax return. So when we finish the comparing and you're all set, good to go, and we will be having you review your taxes, authorize the tax return e-filing, then we send it out, right? So for company, the extended due date is September 15. For personal, extended due date is October, right? October 15. So the bottom line, IRS has information for individual and company income. So if you believe your taxes are complex, and this data match service will give you extra layer of assurance that your tax filing data is matching with what IRS has for you. So this is our kind of our summary, our statement for data match. And you wonder, oh, why data match? Yeah, this is where you can capture what the IRS think about you and making sure that you report everything. Sometimes you give your tax preparer a number. You say, I made $250,000 sales. So the tax preparer put $250,000 on your return. But when you draw the data from IRS, it shows that you had 20 1099s. Each one of them bears different number. Added together, it's about 190,000. It's not 250. So you say, look, Ying, I reported more, so I'm good. No, you're not good. Because if you don't report your income like what the IRS has, number one, 1099 is $5,000. Number two is $50,000. Number three, $100,000. So if you don't break them down with each of these 1099 that IRS has in their database, when you come through the system, the $250,000 is almost like the income that is not 1099, then you are under-reporting the rest of the 1099. Do you understand what I'm saying? So you really need to know what's there, put them all in, then the balance, the $60,000 that you don't have 1099, that could be cash check income that was not reported by the payer to IRS. So that is a perfect tax return, but not otherwise. You just plug a number thinking IRS would assume you actually already reported all your 1099 under that 250,000. You can dream about it, but that's not how the system works. So make sure you understand why data match, laying it out on your tax return is such a super important thing, right? All right, so Tuesday is our short time. We have this short punch talk related to one small subject, which today is data match and getting your data and then matching your tax return before you file your final return for 2022, folks. It's not too late. If you have never heard of your CPA, your accountant talking to you about that, you are not being served the level we serve our client. Then it is you needing to come to us and so we can take care of you. Now, if you have other thoughts, the important things you want us to talk about, you can email Catherine at communitycpa.com and you can call our office at 515-288-3188. And do you know that we open 6 days a week? Haha, you didn't know, right? Because there's no professional firm open 6 days a week, but we are, because we are professional square. We are just like double professional. No, square is more than double. So with that said, call us. If you're busy, call us on Saturday. There's always a person, always staff on board. They're working, so they will take care of you. And I hope you enjoy our short presentation. And I certainly want to see you becoming our client. Join Community CPA, and we are a family. Talk to you soon.